Just in terms of the numbers today aren't good. We're now in our 5th week of lockdown. Why do you think that the numbers aren't shifting and they're really going up?
Yeah, I think what we need to consider is, had we not taken the position we had in the last few weeks, including some very difficult decisions around having a pause on certain industries, our case numbers would literally have been in the thousands. There is no doubt about that. And the fact that we've kept the numbers at bay to this extent is something I want to thank the contact tracers and everybody in health. But are they where we want them to be to lift the lockdown? They're not. Are they where we'd like them to be in certain parts of Sydney? They're not. And that's why the New South Wales Government will consider the health advice, but also the health advice we've been receiving to date in terms of what life looks like beyond July 31.
How do you give people some certainty now?
Does that now mean specific harder lockdown measures for the West? You mentioned the West is now worse than the South West.
Oh, look, I think what's important to note is that it's been a good time for the health experts to give us good data on how the virus is transmitting and in which way. And consistently we've seen critical workplaces and also households be the main generators of the virus transmitting, and they're the issues we need to focus in on. But it's also clear for us that we need to intensify our strategy to ensure that the population comes forward to get vaccinated. So these are all things that we will be considering when we announce what life beyond July 31 looks like. And I just ask people, I know it's really difficult not to speculate, but please wait till we make those announcements. I'm hoping to make those announcements as early as tomorrow to give people plenty of notice. And I just ask everybody for their patience. I know it's a very difficult and frustrating time, but I also know from the messages I've been receiving and the government's been receiving, that people first and foremost want to know that they and their loved ones are being kept safe. But that's why it's really difficult for me to fathom how people would knowingly do the wrong thing and then potentially take the virus home to their loved ones. And that is the strongest message I want to give today. Please know that if you risk getting the virus or spreading the virus, the ones that will be most impacted are those closest to you. And so I just ask everybody to consider their behaviour and their actions in view of that.
Premier, that is the message you've been giving for 5 weeks now. People are still doing the wrong thing and we're still seeing the virus spread in households. Do you need to change your messaging to a harsher message about people doing the wrong thing?
I mean, we are starting to see some positive changes in behaviour between household movements, but more needs to be done. And that's why I think it's so horrible when we need to report a death. It's awful. I mean, I just think about my own circumstances and how I'd react if someone very close to me got the disease and died from it. And the message is starting to get through that if you risk your own health, that's one thing, but then to take it home to your parents or your siblings is just something none of us want to imagine. And I think that message is starting to get through.